Picture this: Paris, late 18th century. The city is abuzz with the latest culinary invention, a crescent-shaped pastry as flaky as the morning frost and as buttery as a summer sunrise. This, my friends, is the birth of the croissant, a pastry so popular it's become synonymous with French culture and breakfast tables worldwide. Making a croissant is an art, a testament to the baker's patience and skill. It's not merely a recipe, it's a dance of ingredients, a ballet of butter and flour. So how does one create this masterpiece? First, gather the ingredients. You'll need strong bread flour, milk, sugar, salt, yeast, butter, and a touch of determination. The magic of a croissant lies in its simplicity. It's a testament to how something ordinary can become extraordinary through technique and time. Now let's begin. Start by combining the flour, sugar, salt, and yeast in a large mixing bowl. Mix them together until well combined. Next, add the milk and butter to the dry ingredients. Mix everything together until a dough forms. Once the dough has come together, transfer it to a lightly floured surface. Knead the dough for about 10 minutes or until it becomes smooth and elastic. After kneading, shape the dough into a ball and place it in a greased bowl. Cover the bowl with a clean kitchen towel and let the dough rise for about 1 to 2 hours, or until it has doubled in size. Once the dough has risen, punch it down to release any air bubbles. Transfer the dough to a lightly floured surface and roll it out into a large rectangle. Now, it's time to incorporate the butter. Place the butter between 2 sheets of parchment paper and use a rolling pin to flatten it into a thin, even layer. Carefully place the butter on one half of the dough rectangle. Fold the other half of the dough over the butter, creating a butter-filled envelope. Using a rolling pin, gently roll the dough out into a long rectangle, about 1 4-inch thick. Be careful not to press too hard and squeeze out the butter. Once the dough is rolled out, fold it into thirds like a letter. This is called a turn. Repeat this process 2 more times, chilling the dough in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes between each turn. After the final turn, wrap the dough in plastic wrap and refrigerate it for at least 4 hours, or overnight if possible. This allows the dough to relax and develop its flavor. When you're ready to bake the croissants, preheat your oven to 400 degree F, 200 degree C. Line a baking sheet with parchment paper. Remove the dough from the refrigerator and roll it out into a large rectangle about 1 4-inch thick. Using a sharp knife or pizza cutter, cut the dough into triangles. Starting from the wide end, roll each triangle up tightly, tucking the pointed end underneath. Place the rolled croissants on the prepared baking sheet, leaving enough space between them for expansion. In a small bowl, beat an egg with a splash of milk. Brush the egg wash over the croissants, giving them a shiny golden finish. Bake the croissants in the preheated oven for about 15 to 20 minutes or until they are puffed up and golden brown. Remove the croissants from the oven and let them cool on a wire rack for a few minutes. Serve the croissants warm or at room temperature. They are best enjoyed fresh with a cup of coffee or tea. Making croissants may seem intimidating, but with practice and patience, anyone can master this art. So roll up your sleeves, gather your ingredients, and let the magic unfold. Enjoy! The first step is to create the dough. Combine the bread flour, milk, sugar, salt, and yeast, then knead until smooth. Here's a secret. The dough is the canvas, and the butter is the paint. Together, they create a masterpiece. Once the dough is ready, it's time to introduce the butter. But not just any butter. It must be cold, cut into thin slices, and arranged on the dough. This is the first step in a process called laminating, which gives the croissant its signature layers. Next, fold the dough over the butter, sealing it inside like a precious gem. Roll it out, then fold it into thirds. This process, known as a turn, is repeated multiple times, creating hundreds of delicate, buttery layers. Patience is key here. Rushing will only lead to heartbreak. After the final turn, let the dough rest. This is when the magic happens. As the dough relaxes, the yeast gets to work, creating tiny pockets of air between the layers. These pockets will become the flaky, airy interior of the croissant. Once the dough has had ample time to rest, we can proceed to mold our croissants. Begin by slicing the dough into triangular pieces, followed by rolling them up commencing from the base. This should result in a crescent formation, elegantly referencing its moon-inspired moniker, the croissant. Your task is to end the baking process once the croissants have reached a rich golden hue. The sensory delight of their buttery scent permeating the air is sure to captivate you. This scent is reminiscent of a morning in Paris, a tantalizing hint of the culinary masterpiece that awaits. In summary, making a croissant is a journey, a dance of ingredients and technique. It starts with a simple dough, which is then laminated with butter to create hundreds of layers. After a period of rest, the dough is shaped into crescents and baked until golden brown. The result? A pastry that's as rich in history as it is in flavor. So there you have it, the art of the croissant, a dance of butter and flour, patience and time. It's a reminder that sometimes the simplest ingredients can create the most extraordinary results. Let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty of a freshly baked croissant. As the camera pans in for close-up shots of our creations, the golden brown crust glistens under the soft light, the flaky layers promising a delightful crunch with each bite. The buttery aroma, an intoxicating scent that fills the room, is a testament to the satisfaction of seeing the end result of hard work and patience. This, my friends, is the magic of baking, a simple yet extraordinary act of transforming humble ingredients into a piece of edible art.